My best quality is my unwavering allegiance to myself. I know who I am. If you don't or you can't figure it out,
Good morning. Is it morning? Woo, it's hot. How is people? What's going on? Ugh, y'all. How is everybody? Good morning, HMS. Good morning. Trust me. Good morning, hybrid Pisces. So I almost kicked this back to later in the day because it's been a week, but then a friend of mine just left and her flight got changed and was just listening to Chris Cuomo. Was that from yesterday? So let's catch up. Is everyone okay? There's tons of weather happening. I know that there's the wildfire smoke has been crazy. Where I'm at in New York, we've got something coming in off the Atlantic and something coming in off the Great Lakes. Then there's, I don't know if it's still a tropical depression or a hurricane or what's happening. Oh, CC Suarez. Oh, I don't know what's going on with CC Suarez. So all to say, I hope everybody is keeping well and safe and all of those things and cool, etc. I have not. So BMD is telling me that CC Suarez did something about Tricia. And I think that's good. I've been, I think I mentioned on some social media platform or even on YouTube that I had, friends and family in town. So I was really kind of checked out. So Marie is it still in the yellow in Michigan? Yuck. Just me. State of misery. Ugh, feels like 104. Yeah. And we cannot catch a break. This is all obviously first world problems, but Dental Lori, good morning, Ski Utah. Woo! Dental Lori. Woo! We have hiya, good morning. New follower sent here. Oh, well, love that shout out from the decoder. And you are Ms. Poffles. Welcome. If you have a pet, please go to the community page and drop the pet picture. I've put together a compilation on pets that I'm going to be rolling out later this week. So, okay, so me in Texas. I was on the East Coast for the smoke, and now I'm home on the West Coast and sick. Oh, we're on the East Coast. You don't have to tell me, but I'm just curious. Yeah, it was bad. Ugh. And it's one thing to have the heat, but then to have the smoke quality, being in the turlet is awful. But so many people got it so much worse. And so, good morning. OMG. Not that nonsense. Yes, that nonsense, 100%. Yes, it's good to see a lot of familiar names this morning. What's been going on? What have I missed? I had just a couple things on the docket for today. But like I said, I considered kicking it back a little bit because my friend, with all the weather, got her flight kicked back. So I'm really extra behind. Pennsylvania, don't say unfortunately, that's not bad. Pennsyltucky, we like the Pennsyltuckies. So I haven't been as up to date on what's going on. So I'm curious. I mean, the one thing that jumped out at me when I deigned to go back on the YouTubes, I did dip into, oh God, I can't remember whose chat. But other than that, for about a week, I've been kind of cold turkey in it. living life, that kind of crap. But when I came back on and saw the Chris Cuomo, first of all, Chris Cuomo, in my opinion, is a dirtball. He is a dirtball of the highest order, in my opinion, because he supported his brother throughout all of his horrific sex scandals, and then went on to support his disgusting brother, who is disgusting. I actually know one of the women who was very, very forthcoming and instrumental in making sure that we hold our leaders, no matter what party or whatever, accountable, and hopefully ended Andrew Cuomo's career in politics forever. So Chris Cuomo, in my opinion, is just gross. And so it makes sense that, of course, y'all pick up on each other, right? So they all pick up on each other. So when I saw him, I'm like, oh, sure. Of course you got Dr. John. Of course you're in touch with News Nation. Yay, subtext, where you been? Check your phone. Okay. Good morning, CH. Hi. Molly Colleen. Hello. Yes, Docket Decoder is amazing. And he actually shouted me out something like, she's not going to make many friends or something like that. I'm like, yeah, true. Nailed it. Okay. So Every Day with Jay, a web sleuth where I don't know who that is, was being called out by Tricia as a troll. Yeah, I've got some thoughts. I think that it's very, very interesting to see Tricia Griffith being backed up by Stacey of the Frogs, saying that, throwing around the defamation word. And I'm like, first of all, don't say things, don't talk about things you have no idea about. Number two, stop it. Unless you are going to show us the defamation is actually in the room with us, stop it. Because what that does is it plants a seed in the minds of people that somebody's defaming you, when in fact you have nothing, if not all of the papers on you. So it's not defamation if it's true. It's also not defamation if I'm saying, for example, in my opinion, you're a disgusting grifter, and stop using the Vallow family and the Woodcock family. I've said it. And I've called you, by the way, Moonlight View, Stacy, whoever is just watching, because I know they are, because they've struck me twice and you can't convince me otherwise, because Moonlight View, you're in both chats. And this is going to just be a blanket. Grayson, whoever's listening, stop it. Because the truth is that we know this is all starting to come together. And we know this because public documents are being brought forward, and Mr. Bright Breakfast is on a tear again. And I've got some intel, not much, but a little bit on that. So Chris Cuomo's gross. Apparently nobody vets anybody. And I could not find an email for him. I couldn't find it. And usually if you go into my YouTube, okay, you can see how to get a hold of me, Andy at andycopsa.com. If you need to use the farmersonly.com jingle to remember it, that's fine. You don't have to be lonely. Email Andy at andycopsa.com. That's fine. You can see how to get a hold of me. I've called Tricia. I've left her my only phone number. Unlike Tricia, I don't have 700 phones of indiscernible husbandry, and also ones that were nicked. Okay. So it's so gross to me. And the thing is that stop saying things like defamation. Stop it. Unless you're going to bring a suit, stop saying that. Stop, because when you call somebody out for saying something, they're defaming me. All of these people are going to be so when all of this comes out, bitch. Sue Pruitt, the Ramseys, and the case in Georgia. Currently, Beth B. Oh, by the way, join my 24-hour festival to celebrate Tricia's day in court when Daphne moves to Yeatathine. And I'm sick of it. Gross. And you know what? You know who else is gross? Dr. John Matthias. Now listen, here's the thing. Please come to me and say that this is it. I have 100% confidence in the fact that I have found nothing to support Dr. John Matthias's claims that he is either a forensic, that he is in any way a forensic licensed. Now I've established this, and I'm not going to do all the work for them, so they can go back and check it out. You are a licensed psychologist. Chris Cuomo is introducing you as a forensic psychologist. Did you tell him that you don't have the requisite training? Because here's the thing. There's a reason why Mr. Breakfast has gone on the transparency offensive, and it's not even the offensive. Okay. And put up receipts. Now, people say receipts, and I usually hate it because I'm like, it's not receipts, whatever. But these are the kind of people that you have to pants and take them to the woodshed because they're not going to stop. And so Mr. Breakfast last week posted something. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here it is. Boinga. And again, I had no idea where I was going to go today because I'm just more yard saley today than I usually am. And that's a lot. So what we know is that Bright Breakfast has been putting out feelers to entities that are accountable. And I want to be very clear about this, John, Lauren, Grayson, whoever. I want to be very clear about this. If you work for a state or federal division of anything, your employment is a matter of public interest and public accountability. Okay? That is the deal. I've put it up before. You got paid like $2,500 in 2021 in Utah, and no place that I've either talked to or searched has a record of John Matthias doing any work for them for any protracted period of time unless it was under the auspices of FACT, F-A-C-T, right? Which is the Family and Child Treatment Center of whatever, South Nevada. And, you know, we know that his either gal pal or co-joint tenant was also involved with that organization and apparently served as, according to his dissertation, served as his advisor, which makes me scratch my head about ethics, but I don't know anything about that part of it. So when Chris Cuomo, an asswipe, in my opinion, based on all of my observations of him, who is really trying to get into the true crime game and make himself relevant again, drags on a bespeckled, and I can't tell you this enough, don't make me bring out all of my eyeglasses again, Matthias's, but brings him out as an expert, presents him as a forensic expert. Where's that information? There's no way to contact you, Chris, on either of your two website channels. There's a general email for basically the slush pile of News Nation. How do you vet your people? You just let them come on? I mean, I'll come on and say I'm the queen of goddamn England. What are you going to do? And again, this is a professional. We've looked at it. We've looked at it. He doesn't have any record. He doesn't have any record of his forensic training. Nothing. And forensic, I'm using that in a very specific way, not like somebody that just is a, you know, in the anthropological sense. I'm talking about actually trained in the field of forensics and in clinical forensics. He's not. And I mean, I stand on that because I've showed it to who laid the rail. So Mr. Breakfast posted the other day, and I'll get to the Tricia of it all in just a minute. Stand by. Oh boy. Let's see. Excuse me. So let me just let me put this ninny. So Bright Breakfast, we know, is now being actively pursued by, apparently, by everything we've seen and everything he's posted, that he's coming. Dr. John Matthias is claiming that he is currently being stalked. I'm not saying it. I'm reading exactly what the letter from his attorney said that was posted on Reddit. And there's 2 attorneys based in Puerto Rico, which I found interesting. I'm like, huh. I've not been able to get anywhere on that because, as I had mentioned before, I was just out hanging out with my friends and family for the week. So Lauren tried it by trying to come for Christina. Failed miserably, horribly. We have to be careful about how we use the tools of the law, right? We all know that long-suffering judge. And you know what? I hope to God that Christina, I hope, here's why. I don't know, Christina seems like a great gal. I like her. She seems to have been done seriously wrong from everything I've seen. And it seems to have been meted out by a cabal of ninnies and assholes, led by Grayson the Gray Bay, Lauren, OMG, what the shit with the glasses, John, can't leave my room, Matthias. And yes, I am making fun of you because you're an asshole. You're gross and you're an asshole. You lied about Mr. Richard Allen. Okay? Gross. Get out of here. Stop it. And Tricia McGrifterson and all of her friends. So I'm hoping that Miss Christina, who has been, in my opinion, pretty clearly defamed. But again, I'm not a lawyer. But when you got a vapor having weirdo going on 9-hour lives, name checking people, let alone like crossbody and ballet flats and all these people out here getting nothing but shit from this woman. Yes, and he lied. You're absolutely right. He lied. Grizzly, you're making a great point. He lied too. Gross. Take them down. I would, if these idiots were my clients or I was like giving them a glow up, I would say, first of all, just stop doing what you're doing. Take a break, take a vacation, go to Sandals with your kid and get out of the country for a while. Stop it. And then I would say, take this down, and take this down. Because you can't have a 9-hour live where you're calling somebody a stalker and naming her. and weaponizing your 300 and some thousand followers. You can do that. But what you're providing is nothing but a lot of stuff for a lawyer to go through, for that lawyer's legal researchers to go through and make a case that, and this is all hypothetical. Seriously, this is me just spitballing. And this goes for you too, Tricia, because you platform these assholes. Okay. All right. And I know you like the defamation and blurgity, 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 blur. But defamation per se causes, and I'm trying to channel my inner Kelly Kell, because it's different in the law that I have studied versus US law. US law is much more stringent than UK law on this particular score. Infamous. You know, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of calculations that go into who can be, and I think what we learned from the trial. So let's just take it back to that. The trial that wasn't, the hearing that wasn't, that hearing that launched hopefully 1,000 lawsuits, in my opinion, against Lauren and John for all of the horrible shit that they've done to people I don't even know, right? Because I mean, this thing is something that they're gross. Hang on, this is my husband checking on the cat. Not me, just my cat. How are my girls? Stand by. Good. There we go. Good. I misspelled it. See? So I hope that they understand. And, you know, I don't even hope that they understand, because the thing is that people like John and Lauren, I have no concept of how those people live. I have no concept of never facing accountability for things that I've done. I don't have any sense of what that must be like. It must be great. Well, I mean, let's see. Let me see what you guys are saying. No good. No, that's not what I'm saying. No good lawyers in the continental US. I'm just saying I study UK law and it's different. So I don't know about anything about it except if it's true. You know, and basically what Maury is saying about the continental US. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you're talking about the Puerto Rico? Look, man, who knows? I think it's a tax thing, right? Isn't it? So I don't know. And what I hope is Mr. Breakfast puts more out. And I hope they put all of it out. Because from what I'm hearing, and I can make a general statement, is that when these idiots online on these YouTube spaces, myself included, say things like receipts, like Tricia, right? When they say receipts, wait until everybody finds out about X, Y, and Z. Well, you know, there's receipts, and then there's things that could be used in a court of law. And my hope is that because these folks out here abusing the legal system, from what I've seen, I mean, it's hard for me to come to a different determination from all Tricia's bullshit and all of the Matthias bullshit, and the rending of garments that they did, and the hair shirt wearing, and all of this self-victimization. It's hard for me to come to a determination that they did not, in fact, clog the colon of our overstressed legal system. It's hard to see how they didn't. It's hard to see how there isn't a world in which somebody like Christina, if they are being approached by a creator who, I think for the purposes of like all of the allegations, including, this attempt to refer her for criminal stalking, which is a very, very specific thing and a whole different kettle of fish. Like that's another interesting thing, is that Lauren and John were alleging criminal activity. Criminal activity. Think about that. Holy crap. Against a private citizen. So they took to their, and this is where that power disparity comes into play. And somebody was trying to tell me, well, they're not limited public figures and blurgity blurg. For all intents and purposes, the judge in Utah says, look, man, this person's out here, a private citizen, just putting their stuff out, whatever. This is not going to fly. You're doing this to chill speech. And that's why she went on her 9-hour live tirade. That's also why I believe that Lauren, during her 9-hour live, which people have, because everything on the internet is permanent, naming all of the people involved that they considered were basically what Tricia likes to call gang stalking. Okay? No. I'm sorry. See yourself out. See yourself out. You grubs, see yourselves out. So, trying to advocate to a court as a doctor, and we went through all of it. There's a whole thing on the trial. It's like, whatever, a few weeks ago. You can go back and listen to it. But the takeaway was basically like, get out of here. This is free speech. We can't police people who do not like us or who say shitty things about us on the internet, because man, oh man, we'd be here all day long, right? Man, oh man. So I think that the bottom line is, if I had to look at this, man, I think it'd be interesting to see what happens when evidence is actually put to test, because that's what courts are for, right? Courts are for testing evidence. And John and Lauren barfed all over the Utah civil courts about how much of a lunatic, actual stark raving lunatic, this young mother of 4 was, without being able to have them answer for it. And that's gross. It's gross. And and they know what they were doing. They were hoping she was going to go away. And I know for a fact, because I've talked to her and we've talked to her, that they were trying to get Christina to do a deal. They were trying to get Christina to sign some sort of deal, and she's not shared with me what that is. So what that says to me, it was not about stalking. And again, I would have to see what it is in that particular series of like offers that they were making to Christina. But it seems like all they wanted was to control her speech. And they were not concerned for their safety. You will not be able to convince me in 1,000 years that those two were concerned about their safety. And I'm sorry, if your son, and these are all things that they've told us, believes that Chad Daybell is coming to Thanksgiving dinner, maybe that's your sign that you shouldn't be talking about things in front of him. So you own that. What? Did they want Christina to be a surrogate? Good God, I don't think so. Woo! Hang on a second. So did they want, what? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Sorry, who came in? Gucci, hello. Good morning. So again, man, I've been going, I've been out of this loop for a hot second. Let me see. HMS says someone in chat yesterday said John on Chris Cuomo blew up, like got angry, HMS. Because I was gonna pull that stupid thing up for a second. Oh, we got some law. Okay, CH posted. Okay, 78B judicial, right? Protective order, right? Civil stalking injunction, right? So they got the ex parte. So that means you just go and say, that's a very low bar. And I think maybe you have more. So she was able, so basically based on feels and some mean videos that Christina had posted and a bunch of things that had nothing to do with Christina, said to the court, I want this injunction. And ex parte means that it's granted if there's sufficient cause. And again, this is a low bar. The thing is that unfortunately, it's not such a low bar that it precludes women who are actually being stalked or in actual danger from their significant others. So, and that's gross. So yes, that's what went into effect. And then they lied in a filing. And that's another thing too that will have to be looked at by either the State Bar Association out there. And I know that Dastin Dio is in some sort of trouble, but you can file anything you want in court, but it can't be a lie. And so as a lawyer, and when Dastin Dio said in one of the filings against Christina that she violated, that he represented to a court. So that's the problem here. These are the kind of people that Lauren and John have in their court that are apparently do whatever it is you need to do to absolutely take a piss out of this woman who did nothing to you except make some mean TikToks. Ooh, right? Anyway, so Dastin, I don't know what's going to happen with that creep, but man, represented to the court in the motion practice that Christina violated the injunction, the ex parte injunction, and she did not. And so that did not get to be adjudicated in front of the court because we also know, well, anyway, go back to that. Also see subtexts docket on that because it's illuminating. What they tried to say that Christina did and said is grotesque. And I don't understand how people are still falling for their bullshit. I just don't. I really don't. Yeah, I'm tired. The zero consequences thing. And again, I wouldn't be as cranked up over this if the guy wasn't in a position of power. And he is, because he's placed himself there. John Matthias has put himself in a position of power by being a licensed psychologist. And that's it. That's it, John. You're not a licensed clinical forensic psychologist who does crime analysis and blurgity blurg unless you can show that, because there's nothing in Utah or in Nevada, even in the historical record, back to when you say you started, saying that you took all those extra classes that were required by the state of Nevada to do the things that you did on a couple of occasions, and also inappropriately profiled a man who went on to reoffend because you did the math wrong on your worksheet and evaluating him. Academia. I don't know. This is all out there. I've been exhaustive about it. A lot of people have. I am not the only one. And so that Chris Cuomo, who again, jackass, right? The views aren't very high, whatever. Neither are mine. But, you know, platforming this dipshit, who is a dipshit in my opinion, who may or may not have lived with a woman under false pretenses, in my opinion. Look, these people are gross. They're gross and they're gross. Yeah, so it cost Christina around 60K. So that would be my basement number. If I were in Christina's position, so this is my hypothetical. If I were in Christina's position and Lauren and John, they're doppelgangers that were doing the exact same thing, not them. Let's say John and Lauren Smith had 300 and some thousand. I don't even have 3,000 people following me on any whatever. Went and dragged me into a civil court alleging that I was a stalker, alleging that I had made their child fear for their life, that a licensed psychologist, which he is, said that I was a risk, a public safety risk, and that wanted me to be charged with criminal stalking and wanted me to go to jail or have a tether, on top of the emotional toll that it took on me as the target, as a person who is behind the scenes, who was a former friend. Then the money, then the time, then my reputation, and the jobs that Christina's lost, because we know she has. I would quantify it. I would work with a lawyer to quantify that. And I would start there. I would start there. Because it's a hell of a lot more than what they presented. What they presented was bullshit. What they presented was a bunch of their BFFs, including Tricia, Grifty McGrifter Pants. And Susan Hendrick, shame on you. Just like, oh, these people are such good people. That was it? You put your names on signed affidavits? Gross. So that's what I would do. And I would consult with an attorney and say, what do you think, man? Can I recoup some of this money? And then can I go further? Is there any opportunity for me to go further for equity to solve this problem? And by the way, because Dr. John, and in my scenarios, Dr. John Smith wanted to refer me, Andy Kopsa, for criminal charges. So then I would say to my fake lawyer, who I'm making up right now in this scenario, I would say, hey, buddy, hey, lady, because it wouldn't be a dude. Hey, lady, okay, can I get the 60 grand back? Okay. What about the money that I've lost because of harm to my reputation from that 9-hour live, plus the 4-hour follow-up, plus the duty run, plus the X, Y, and Z? Can we get statements from them? What can I get from that? Because I would want a pound of flesh at this point. And the pound of flesh meaning what you took from me wrongly, what you wrongly took from me. If I get a fucking parking ticket, I'm gonna pay it because I did the thing. If you call me a stalker and try to get me referred for a crime, then I'm going to ask my lawyer, who's a lady, who isn't real and is for hypothetical purposes only. I would then say, do you think that Lauren Smith and John Matthias called in, not John Matthias, what am I saying? Lauren Smith and John Smith in this hypothetical scenario called in a false report to Henderson Police Department. Then I would find out if to my lady lawyer, and this would have to be quick because I don't have a lot of cash, right? So then I would ask, then they called in this thing to in Idaho. Then I would say, okay, so is this a crime hypothetical lawyer that I've retained? Because if so, should that be referred out? And I'm going to leave that up to you to figure out all the laws and things. And because some of this was done on the phone and included a police station, Bobby, what's her name? Right? Aurora Police Department. Should I just try to sue that police department then? These would be my questions. Because this was malicious, this was grotesque. And these people, if they didn't have positions of power, and again, do I think they're powerful? Fuck no. But they put themselves in a position of power because he's a licensed professional. That is, no. So I would ask all of my hypothetical lawyer lady, I don't know, maybe Kelly Kell if she passes the bar. Wink. And she will pass the bar. But that's what I would do. And I would show them everything. And I would just say, look at this docket. What do you think, man? Because this is, right? This is nuts. And then I would allow that lady lawyer of mine to suggest what I do. And if that lady lawyer says, I can't work on contingency, I might consider pro saying that shit. I don't know. It's not a great look, but you know what? You can't be any worse than Dastin Dio. You can't. You cannot be worse than Dastin Dio, who apparently made false representation to a court when he made that filing that Christina violated a properly served stay-away order. It was not properly served. And they utilized that, which is important in the timeline. They utilized that to say that, see, she is going to go against the law. Therefore, we think that she needs to be held to criminal charges. So I don't know, man. I'd ask my hypothetical lawyer, do you think that idiot needs to be referred for anything? And I've had this same, don't get me started on Delphi and Kevin Greenlee. If you know, you know. How they did not find a problem with what he did, I do not know. So CH is saying, so offenses against the individual. So that's criminal, right? Lauren, she's an idiot. I mean, truly, honestly, that she's mixing, yeah. I get it, but she's mixing two things together and weaponizing it. Aussie, hey, how you doing? Let's get back to Brad Pitt. But I think Mr. Breakfast is onto something. Let me see what you all are saying. Christina put out all that money, and then Lauren dropped it. She dropped it. Lauren dropped it. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what you're saying, just me. Grizzly Bear, Kelly D said, I'm sure the judge had no idea whatsoever who LM was. That probably hurt her more than anything. Do you not know who I am? Hey, Nora. Sorry, I'm late in the chat going back. Let me go back. Well, yeah, you know, in Aussie, I think there's been people talking about that because, you know, I've got a very specific stance on fundraisers. I'm not opposed to them. I'm just not going to be responsible for them. But, you know, I'd be willing to hear how that goes. I mean, I think that again, if this is some crazy YouTuber that is just out there making up shit, am I going to care? No. I mean, man, I've been called every name in the book. I've had everything done to me. But these two are special. These two are real special. And also Tricia is very, very special because she is a wholly owned subsidiary of that multi-million-dollar company, Othram, who still hasn't been able to get their trademark passed in the EU, which I'm monitoring because that's what I do. Nerdy EU stuff. Don't forget about law and crime. And law and crime. Christ, that's how you make your living, Wowen. Am I making fun of her? Yeah, you bet, because she's a joke. Gross. Get out of here. CH says she starts in Henderson accusing Stephanie, Colette, Bright Breakfast, Gigi, Lindsay. Right? This is a really good point, CH. My God. This might be part of the point. Let alone the alleged affair that she had, right? Has anybody heard about that? Because apparently that might be a thing with somebody involved in the Vallow trial. I came across that and I can't remember where, but that is floating out there in the ether. Ugh. Huh? Yick. So CH says she starts in Henderson, accusing Stephanie, Colette, Bright Breakfast, Gigi, Lindsay, Janice, and Sarah. So we know Crossbody and all these people. So Crossbody, sure. Christina only came into the frame when they extinguished. Yes, you're right. And that's kind of when I was trying to make the analog to Christina became the Festivus pole. Because she needed somebody to go after. And for whatever reason, the timing was right to go for Christina. And I truly believe that if there was a there, if there was something to pursue in the court, she would not have dropped it. She wouldn't have. You kidding me? There's more money for her to be made, though, on the 9-hour live. I guess. Because people were watching it, supporting it, giving her super chats for it. To debase yourself, right? It's like, ew. Ugh. Weirdo. Gross. Right. And so Molly Colleen, and I'm going way back, but yeah, Molly Colleen says, who offers a deal to someone you're genuinely afraid of? And I don't know what that would have been. And like I said, it was only mentioned in passing. So I don't know what was contained in that. What I do know, though, from folks that were actually in the courtroom when the hearing happened, is that when they went out into the hallway, they were trying to, reach all sorts of agreements. But then again, it came up again, to just like, hey, man, this can go away if what? I don't know that what would that even look like? What would that even look like? Because I can't probably, here's what I think, Molly Colleen and everybody. I think, and this is me just spitballing, the only thing that could remedy the situation from a Lauren perspective would be to take down the videos about worms. Making fun of you. I don't think Christina has that. I don't do TikTok because it's terrifying, much like Reddit, terrifying. But that would be the only thing I can imagine. And why would you? Why would anybody do that? The only person that should be taking anything down is John and Lauren. And, I don't know. That's another thing I've got to think of for my hypothetical lawyer to ask, like, is there recourse to get those things pulled down? Because everybody knows what Christina's name is. They know. I mean, finally, she's been able to use her own voice, thank God, because it's been co-opted by assholes, Duty Ron. All of them. All those CrimeCon weirdos, right? So, let's see. Betty Boop. Did they want Christina to be a surrogate? I think I answered that. I don't. Could you imagine? Ugh. Gookie. CH, you are correct. CH is probably always correct. That stood out to me. Also, Christina wasn't even mentioned. And this is, again, this is such, I would follow CH. CH, you have a channel. I'd rather just watch. But yeah. And that's the reason I was like so weird about laying that out in such a boring ass detail. And I did put some timestamps in there, but I tried to show it's like, and again, we got the Jays, we got the Jolenes, we've got the allegedly innocent, we have the Dream, oh my God, Dream Feed, we've got Penny, who are all out there putting together different aspects of this because it's so disgusting to us. I mean, I think I can't speak for them, but because it's just like, come on, man, what the hell's going on here? You grody. Yeah. And Penny has been putting out some really great stuff that's very shortened versions of kind of to give people the background, like, ugh, I want to look out for these mother scratchers over here because yikes. You know, they just seem vexatious. They seem like vexatious litigants to me. Let's see what else. Oh, Googie, what did I say? Their son asked, oh, yeah. I mean, look, we all have parenting fails. I mean, I know God help me, I have, but there's parenting failures, and then there's leveraging alleged fears, not even founded fears. And that's the other thing too, is that, you know, can you imagine? They had to know. They had to expect that Christina wasn't going to move forward on this. And why do I think that? Because that would mean that their son would have to undergo psychiatric evaluation by somebody other than John Matthias. Why would you do that to your kid? Because you would have to prove that. And the court went so far, or actually the Mr. Dunkelberger's response, one of the last ones, went so far as to say, look, Matthias is out here making commentary, not just on his wife's mental health, which is inappropriate, and he's not an expert for the purposes of this hearing, but he's not an expert for the purposes of this hearing. That's not how this works. And I think that came as an absolute shock to them because they're the expertiest experts ever that experted. Molly Colleen says her entire demeanor changed when the cop told them everyone said it was Christina. I don't remember all of that, but I will take your word for it. Let's see. What else? Subtext. Those TikToks weren't even mean. They were very true, right? And so you're not wrong. Even the thing, you know, and this is the other thing. People can say, why would Christina say something about her dead brother? I don't know. Probably because from the way Christina has talked about it finally publicly, because Lauren was talking about it in a queue waiting to get into court. And, you know, then that leads me to a rabbit hole of I don't know if anybody's talked about it yet. I think maybe somebody has, but it's in public record where they were, look, it's a tragedy when any young man dies. My God. Setting that aside for one hot second, is the way that it appears the family went for guardianship. And unfortunately, I got to do some more digging on the surrogates court in New York, which again is public. And that's where he was living at the time when he unfortunately got into the accident in the Dominican Republic, I think. But for her to get up there and say, my brother, ma'am, you said it in front of a line of people. There were people there. There were witnesses that said some lady in line was like, I'll be your surrogate. What is happening at these trials? Ew. Then to Loria, I say made some true TikToks. Yes. Right, just me. And this is the other. So again, this is that position of power. And people can, it's power is relative in this situation, but it's very real. There's the truly powerful, say, state, government, whatever. But imagine this happening to you by two people that should know better. One person who comes from a line of defrocked lawyers, and the other one that is not who they say they are. They're not. And I'm sorry, I think that the internet has earned the right to ask to see your papers beyond your license, sir. And I think a very intrepid Mr. Breakfast is going to be the one to actually drag this thing into the light. Because somebody has to. This is ludicrous. It's just gross. It's more than gross. I don't even know the right words. It's infuriating. It's all of those things. And it just, there's just such a fundamental lack of integrity. Clearly the man's not practicing. Can you imagine? What if he were? And that's okay. You don't have to be practicing anything. You being licensed is fine. There's lawyers on LawTube that leave active practice but maintain their license. Who cares? That's fine. This is different though, right? This is spitballing about people's mental health to such a grave degree. And I think it's pretty clear that Dr. John hates women, like not just mildly hates, like fucking hates women. And it shows. And I think it's probably starting with his mother, who allegedly pushed him out of a car where he got run over by a semi-trailer. This is who the pushed out of the car is made up. But so, all of it is. But these are the people we're dealing with. You expect us to believe you? Ew. Give me a break. Get out of here, weirdos. CH says bovine. Oh, seem to think all the people called during the Gray Bay visit wouldn't talk after. He got grumpy that Christina used the term extortion like it was a gotcha moment. Oh God. But imagine, you know what? If we had a nickel for every time John used terminology or Tricia used terminology well north of her pay grade or his pay grade that didn't make any fucking sense, we'd have enough to support a Christina lawsuit. Because, okay, that guy, he's a one-note cowboy. One-note cowboy. Not a rhinestone one. HMS. HMS says that would be like them admitting guilt in their view, right? And that's like, to put it in John's term, that would be ego death. Gucci says, got a phone call too for stalking Lauren at dinner. Yeah, Dental Lori. Keep in mind too, when we're this timeline that the interwebs has so wonderfully put together on this bullshit case, that Christina was out of the country for 2 of these calls. God, it was just, as much as I hate the fact that they dragged this woman through the court system, they could have had the fucking sack to show up and try to prove it. But what happens when you have a lunatic who literally shit all over a series of emails to a fellow counsel, making threats against, almost seemingly against a counsel, who then left the case because he was being, there's some criminal case involving him as a defendant. These people are messy, and I cannot believe that they thought that this would hold. Yeah, and Christina kept being the target after, and you're right, Betsy Boop. The thing is, they keep Christina being the target, even at CrimeCon. The second time, then I would ask my hypothetical lawyer something like, CrimeCon gifted me a ticket, and then the subcontracted risk assessment / whatever it was, security detail pulled me aside, singled me out, and responded to a text message from Lauren about me appearing in the background of somebody's screen or of somebody's stream. So I'd be like, lawyer lady, what do you think about that? CH says, why did Bowen and Grabe not mention the 3-hour Henderson Ellie call when Boise Ellie were asking about priors? 3-hour Henderson. I thought they did. I thought they mentioned filed reports. Maybe not. Dental Lori says, we all got a phone call just to tell what happened. Once we all told the same story, I believe the cop realized it was them and not us. I mean, ugh. HMS says they were so threatening, stressed by Christina's TikToks, but have moved from online backlash you're getting now. Make that make sense. I mean, subtext says, remember when Chris Cuomo told people it was illegal for members of the public to read WikiLeaks? It was only legal for the media to read WikiLeaks. Is that true? He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Told you he's gross. He's an idiot. Spike and Rocky. One issue with using the legal system to settle online scores is that tech changes so fast and laws can't keep up. And legislatures are full of geriatrics who think the internet is a series of tubes. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And, yeah, you're not wrong. What? Jay, God almighty. I'm trying to get caught up from a week. What are you doing? Dental Lori. So we have Gucci saying, Dental Lori, you should never have received a phone call in the first place. I mean, this is like the sort of throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what would stick. And I think that lawyer has, or that whoever that officer was has a lot to answer for. Honestly. Ugh. And that Bobby Joe creature, yuck. My God, I'm so far behind on these chats. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Mr. Breakfast is. And I do think that Mr. Breakfast is going to bring this house of cards down if I had to bet my lunch money on it. Really, because I think the thing is that so I think that what we're going to see is, because Mr. Breakfast is a private person who people don't know, or I don't know who he is, but is well and truly a person behind the scenes. I know what I've done. I've done the digging into the files and the public information going back to the 2000 in Nevada and in Utah. I've made the phone calls to these places trying to follow up on information. I pulled the cases and tried to read that. I've gone through the case law. So I'm pretty confident in saying what I say, not really giving a shit, not being worried about it, because I've shown all of my work. But it seems like, because Mr. Breakfast is now in the crossfire, or in the crosshairs of these lawyers that apparently are working with John and Lauren, or John, because he's being stalked. Again, if I were these lawyers, man, I hope you're having an honest to God conversation with your client. And I hope to God that if and when you find out your client is lying to you, that you actually say, I'm bowing out of this. Because if you're issuing these letters, and we've seen it, we saw it on Reddit. I actually have it here. It's unredacted, so I'm not going to bring it up. But, this was posted just the other day. And if subtext, if you're still here, or somebody, Janice, hey, Ballet Flats. Candy, hello. Hi. Sorry, I'm just now getting to chat. Back to chat. Where are you, a former gem? Googie says, glad to be a proud former gen, and love the night I trolled web sleuths and caught Tricia off guard, made her lose her train of thought right after she was saying how great Lauren was. Ugh. Yuck. Oh, Dr. Macy. I think if he was practicing, he'd at least have more accountability. So I almost want that. I'll volunteer. Ooh. If he was practicing, right. It's nice to see you, Dr. Macy. Got to catch up. So what are a lot of gems hung up on? HMS Gen X lady said a lot of gens are hung up on that. Subtext, Christina's allowed to think Lauren's stories about her brother are weird too. We all are. But again, it's like I said, it's set it in a line waiting to get into court. Gross. What? Jesus Christ. Hang on. Let me see if I can find the redacted version on Reddit. Again, I keep saying Reddit terrifies me. Stand by. Hidden true crime. Ha ha. This is hilarious. Hang on a second. Hang on. Oh, this is fucking funny. Stand by. Ugh. Grody. Hidden to a crime. Yuck. Barf. Here we go. Let me pull it up. Because I'm just going to read this shit. So sick of this. I am so fucking sick of this. Jackasses. Hold on. Ugh. Here we go. This was 3 days ago. Again, like I said, I have been out living my life. So let's see. Let's read through it together. John hires attorney who said Bill Cosby accused her. It sounds as though she slept with every single man on the planet. Oh, really? Wow. Hold on. This is new. Did y'all see this? Holy shit. Good God. What? Oh, youch. Good God. Good Lord. Yes, docket decoder, 100%. You know, and it's funny because I've actually called them as well, this Bobby Joe. Like, it's just all a piece. And again, if I had that hypothetical lawyer that I would be consulting, all of this would go into that pile, including the fact that a public email was used. Anyway, so let's see what Mr. Breakfast is up here doing. Whoops. Hang on. Just lost my page. Here we go. So now we can start the show. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. So John hires attorney. Right. Kathleen Bliss. Okay, so he named. Okay, great. The Mr. Breakfast named it. Kathleen Bliss, the Nevada-based attorney who is one half of the duo taking on Utah Nojos and conducting their, quote, investigation with former FBI agent Andy, it's not me, has handled a significant amount of criminal defense work. I don't think one should read into that he's using criminal defense attorneys. Part of that work involved vigorously defending Bill Cosby. Are you shitting me? Okay. What is happening? What is happening? Kathleen Bliss made several comments during the questioning of alleged victims. Okay, so she's a scumbag. She looks nice. I mean, she looks real nice. Look at that eyeshadow or the eyeliner. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, he's gross. Everybody deserves a defense attorney. Yep, 100%. Also, stop it. Who is doing your permanent eyeliner? Ew. You look grumpy. But it's a hell of a thing to say that she slept with everybody on the planet, because you know what? You can sleep with everybody on the planet and be raped. You just can, bitch. Let's see. Okay, I don't care so much about that part of it. I mean, I care that she's gross, but whatever. I mean, maybe what? I don't know. Let's see. This is why I hate. Reddit. Oh, 4 days ago. I have to stop leaving the internet. So, have you guys seen this? Has everybody seen this? The Andy part. I know this is confusing to me. Oh, Tricia read it. Oh, everybody go watch it over on Tricia's then. Big difference in hiring a defense attorney to defend you against the state. Yes. And hiring an attorney to go on the defense about a private people. So I'm going to call this lady today because why not? That's my job. Because there was another lawyer too, though. I feel like there were two lawyers, weren't there? Oh, that's interesting. So Elizabeth W411 says that's so fitting because John Matthias defends sexual. He does. He sure does. Just whistling Dixie. I would say you've been most susceptible to being. I would say you'd be even more susceptible to being R-worded if you're sleeping around. I wouldn't. I mean, I think that, yeah, maybe. My point is that being a sexual bon vivant does not immune one to rape, from being raped. It doesn't. Let's see. And I will die on that hill. Yeah, I believe it's two lawyers. Yeah, I love Tricia too. 100%. So, yikes. Oh, God, I didn't mean to do that. Yuck. I'm sorry. Hang on. So apparently there's a couple lawyers. Again, I don't think it's going to go anywhere because the Mr. Breakfast person is doing all the work. Sorry, I accidentally closed a tab. Woo, it's hot. Son of a bitch. Let's see. Hidden True Crime Chat. There they are. Interesting. So now I'm looking through this. Mandy Matney found in contempt of court. Huh. Ah, here it is. Oh, so now this is the last one I saw. Hang on. No means no. That's right. Well, let's see. God damn it. My fucking computer is starting to act up again. It's like it gets to a certain point and it's like, stop, just go. Just don't do this anymore. So this is Dr. John warns Utah No Joseph stalker after No Joseph releases public records. See, this is another interesting part. I'm going to have to take some time on these. I wonder if Mr. Breakfast would talk to me. I don't want to do that, though, because that feels a lot like something somebody else did, and I'm not going to do that. So, submitting lawful public records request isn't stalking, right? It also isn't harassment. Correct. Trying to tell an agency there's a, quote, active investigation going on is apparent attempt to discourage them for releasing public records just raises more questions, in my opinion. I've submitted a public records request seeking information, something HTC used to have me do, and I see this person worked for them. something they appear to appreciate in the past. The only difference now is the research and requests involve claims that HTC has made publicly in court and to law enforcement. Yeah, sure have. Yep. I'm down, Mr. Breakfast. For someone who has publicly represented that he spent years working with courts, evaluating offenders, and testifying as an expert witness, I mistakenly assume he'd already understand that about public records. No, he don't. Yes, I think one's in Puerto Rico. I got to go back and look. And that's cool. We all agree. Yes, consent is consent. I think that just listen, Dixie. I think you were talking about like risk situations. I think, yeah. So, who we got here? Like the Wild West. Yo, I was just watching Penny's Gray Bay replay, literally looking for this interview with Don. Oh, the one from Who's Poops. Mm-hmm. Oops, sorry. I think I get it. You'd have people who then feel entitled like everyone else who's already got a turn. Eek. Ugh. Ooh. But yeah, I think one's in. So anyway, somebody put up something about, and I thought I read something about 2 lawyers, one in Puerto Rico. And I think the Puerto Rico thing, again, has to do with something with taxes. But so this interview, oh God, with Chris Cuomo, I don't think I can do it. I just don't. It's should we try? So let me see. So that's interesting. So former gem. So HMS is a former gem. I'm just curious. What it is, what the turning point is for people who used to follow somebody. I know for me, and again, I don't have that many followers, but I know that I turn shitloads of people off. A lot of it is me being sweary, foul-mouthed broad. I'm not diagnosing anybody. Click on the post and read it. Okay, about PI. Oh, it's a PI? Interesting. Hang on. Please stand by. Okay. For anyone wondering, I didn't see anything in here when I click on it. No, just of a stalker, public records related to him. Yeah, you got to kind of wonder, though. Court granted. I'm trying to see. Ooh, yeah. So we had that federal court filing. I think we all talked through that. Yeah, so some of this stuff is from a month ago. So I think I went through the Nojo stuff like last week. That's not it. Damn it. I don't see where it is. A former FBI. Yes. So I did see that. So let's see. Ballet Flats is a sweary foul-mouthed broad too. Yes. Chris Cuomo is a shitbag. Oh, So Googie, it was blocked, even as a paying member. Oh, wow. Interesting. And a retired FBI guy named Andy. What kind of shit is going on here? Gross. The investigator signs his emails, DBA, AG investigations, I believe. Yeah, doing business as, right. DBA, AG investigations. Oh, hang on. We're going to have to do a little real time. And this is from Nevada. Again, this is public records. Corporation search. Done this before, John. This is all above board. Let's see. The Silver Flume. Let's see. Anybody can do it. Business entity search. Let's see who this mother scratcher is. AG investigations. Aha! Found it. Found it. I see. Okay. Right. Found this dude. Okay. Oh, so let's see. He is the secretary, treasurer, president, and director of his own company. Hang on. I don't want to put this up yet, but everybody can go to this online search. Actually, fuck it. Who cares, right? I mean, this is a public filing. Good God. Let me switch. Silver Flume. You said this is, so if I'm understanding correctly, this is it's AG investigations is been dissolved since 2025. Where did you get that information? Is that further on in the, oh, okay. His name is Andy. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm Grizzly. I'm a former gem also. I didn't watch him consistently. I was 95% out by the time they got to Richard Allen, and that was the final straw. Ugh. Oh, got it. Okay. Stopped watching Mario, stopped watching HTC when Lauren had a guest on. It was a whole giggle fest about driving a car over Chad Daybell in high school. That's seems right. Seems about. Hey, hybrid Pisces. Let's see. Yuck. Let me see here. Right. This is a quote from Bright Breakfast. So wait a minute. Gray Bay dropped both the DoorDash without prejudice and the driver with prejudice. Okay, so she wants to come have another bite at the apple with DoorDash. So obviously, probably everyone here follows true crime or some, law tubers online. With prejudice means that's it. No more. Can't bring this shit back. DoorDash without prejudice means that probably going to reconnoiter and decide if she can sue them. I don't know. Litigious weirdos. Yeah, she sure did. She dropped her suit. Molly Colleen. Yep. Wait, okay, so hang on a second. So like the Wild West, oops, I got the prejudices mixed up. I always do that. close completely with the driver, can bring it back with DoorDash. Yeah. So if it's with prejudice, just think of it in the way that prejudice means prejudiced against, right? So I think that most people perceive prejudice as with prejudice. Well, I'm trying to make an analog. Yes. With prejudice means that it can no longer be pursued, that you've done it, you've dusted it, that's it. No settlement, just you've dropped it. They probably had some sort of mutual agreement that was it. And then without prejudice means that there is still an avenue to revisit. Like that means that door is not closed if it's some date down the road. Yeah, so she dropped it. I don't know, maybe the timing was bad. Maybe they have other stuff going on. So without prejudice for the driver only. I mean, if that, I don't have any firsthand intel. What I can tell you is what with prejudice means. Anyway, so this dude runs AG. What? All right, I got to go into this man's filing history because he says he has 10,000 shares. What is happening? Oh, I see. Huh. Wonder if there is. Sorry, I was going to pull this back up. Ugh. Stop screen. Share. Mm-hmm. So this is, again, YouTube. This is public. Anybody can do it. Anybody can go to it. So this is the AG investigation, name changes. Let's see if they were called something else. And just because something's been dissolved doesn't mean that a person can't still be self-employed. I mean, you should have an LLC or something like that if you're doing work in a certain area that requires you to have bond or to have, insurance, which I would imagine an investigator would have to. Registered agent. Okay. So yeah, apparently this person's all the things. This doesn't have, it doesn't have the actual articles of incorporation though, which sucks. Hang on. Wait, no, I mean, 5/31. Okay. So that's when the annual report was due. Dissolution before. So I'm not seeing where it was dissolved. Dissolution before or after issuance of, what the hell is this? It doesn't even have a complete title. What the hell does this mean? Oh, silver flume, you giveth and you taketh away. Dissolution before or after issuance of ... What in the hell is that? Does anybody know? I'm wondering if that's issuance. Let me see what that may be. But that's not it. Hang on. Does anybody know what that might be? I don't. Yeah, so but it's not though. So thank you, Fayette. It was filed in Nevada. I have it pulled up, but unfortunately in Nevada, not every filing, even though it is public, has a paper filing, meaning I can't go in and see the articles of incorporation because it doesn't have a little camera by it. So I don't know if people can see this. I hope so. I can't. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Can't really make it bigger, but the articles of incorporation were filed in 2024, 5/27/2024. However, there's no clickable view. So over here on the right-hand side, there's little cameras that have viewable documents. Then in 5/24/2025, let me see. Interesting. So yeah, again, so nothing shows up. Hang on. And then this thing that I can't figure out what dissolution before or after issuance of ... But that doesn't bring up the title of what this is. Hang on a second. Oh, before issuance of shares. Okay. So it looks like that's a filing that's because apparently this was a for-profit company and it had shares determined on what, I have no idea. But it looks like what this last thing is that dissolution before or after issuance of, probably issuance of shares, if I had to run a guess. But it doesn't say, it doesn't have the absolute title up here. So yeah, I mean, but it doesn't say articles of dissolution. Dissolution before or after. Okay, well, I'm used to seeing articles of dissolution, but I don't know how everybody does it. Am I correct? So when I opened it, the camera icon, so I'll do it one more time. So see what happens when I click the icon. What happens is it opens just a lower bit. So if you can see this down here, that's the big reveal, which is no reveal at all, in my opinion. And then you can go through information. It gives you the officer names, the number of shares, whereas something like the articles of incorporation, there is not even that option to open it. So you can't open whatever. So if I want to go into the annual list, which is a filing requirement for whatever, for companies, for corporations in the state of Nevada, all it does is open up this new window. So, and just shows you that, on this date in 2024, it was active, the status. So that's it. That's it. Has all the same other information. Does that make sense? That is a shitty reveal. It's like the worst. But it has his name. I'm not going to go track this guy down, but again, I know that if this person is working with, actually, I'm going to search this guy because if he was a former FBI agent, he should come up. But the fact is that you can work as an investigator for an attorney without having a company. So I don't think that's strange necessarily at all. Okay. Yeah, the silver flume, which is hilarious. Silver flume. Makes me think of water parks when you were a kid. Did anybody ever have the flume water ride? Or that was only my ancient weird parents that called it a flume. So I'm going to look this guy up quick because I'm like, sir, are you actually a former FBI agent? Or are they just saying that? Because, man, that'd be a weird thing to misrepresent. And they could be. Hang on. Just copy. Boop, boop. Oh, okay. What? Private investigator. Okay. So I see. He was this guy was an FBI, like he worked in financial investigations. Okay. Back in 1989. Okay. Well, okay. So great. Congrats. But he still lists himself as a private investigator on LinkedIn. And again, you don't have to have a corporation. Actually, where's this guy at? Let's see. Oh, that's nice. No information. Okay. United States. Okay. Well, not a lot of information there, but he's on log flume. Yes. Love a good flume. God, on a hot day. Oh, how we laughed. Love to laugh. The log ride at Adventureland. Yes, the log flume. 100%. What you dropping in here? Reddit.com. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's probably what I pulled up. Oh my goodness. Welcome aboard. Always surprised. Welcome, Googie. I hope I'm saying that right. Or is it Googie? New member. You have some lovely emojis you can use. It's the toodle toot. You also have the can't, the off used, can't, I can't. You also have Dr. John, which feel free to drop into the chat. Use away. Yeah, Nevada's PI licensing board. Oh, companies' PI licenses. Oh, okay. Still holds a license. I am wondering if it's much like with Indiana, as long as you are working under a lawyer or working for an attorney, you can still be an investigator, which might be, I just haven't had a chance. So thank you for that, CH. He has a Yahoo. What is it with the Yahoo? Does he also use dial-up? Does he have a Wang computer or a Tandy? Does he have a car phone with a cord? What is happening? Why, Lord? Yahoo. Okay. I mean, do people have Yahoo addresses? I don't. I have a Gmail. And then I have my regular, you don't have to be lonely at andycopsa.com. Again, that is a reference to the Farmers Only jingle. Maybe that's too much Iowa, but wow. Okay. So let me think here for a second, though, because Tricia's lawyer has a Yahoo. Okay. Got it. Check. This PI has a Yahoo, maybe just an old one. Maybe he doesn't want to give out his real one, but why not if it's actually your business one? I don't know. I got no goddamn idea. None. Henderson is where John lives. Yes. Henderson is also where somebody I know very well lives. Kelly Cal. Kelly Cal. Coffee grabber. And Jennifer coffee grabber. Yes. So anybody can do it. So, okay. So tell me the lore, Googie. What did you do that was legendary? My God. Love it. I love that for Tricia. And just so we're clear, I just want to revisit for Tricia, Grayson, whoever's monitoring their group chat at the moment. I did actually call Tricia Grifterson to ask her what, quote, the truth was that she claimed to have and was passing out her cards at CrimeCon, and I never got a call back. So this woman that was the other thing that struck me, going back to Tricia making all these claims about people defaming her. And oh man, we're all going to be like so surprised and impressed when all the truth comes out, talking about defamation and blah, blah, blah. Ma'am, you gave out your card and told people to call you if they had questions about the quote truth. So call me back. You have my phone number. I'm not kidding. Look, I'll give you a fair shake. Just have the courage of your convictions, you dimwit. God. Gateway computers, 100%. So we got a Hotmail user, which is totally fine. I get it. However, I will say that working, to me, if I'm a lawyer or if I'm a professional, I mean, and maybe it's a throwaway email. I have a throwaway email that I put in whatever forms that I don't want to collect junk on. But it just seems weird to me that there's not like a company name, or I don't know, man. I'm a nobody. As a freelance reporter, I had my own email. So it's just weird. It just seems weird. That's just me. But Hotmail, come on, come all. We welcome all emails. I can hear Jolene yelling your name. Googie? Where's Googie? Googie, are you here? What did I miss? Oh my God. Okay. What's the lore? What's the lore? Wow. I didn't realize Yahoo was still a thing. Again, all emails welcome. Yeah, I don't know. And you have a Gmail. Okay. Hello. Earfla. Yeah. Oh, look at that kitty. Oh my goodness. You changed your profile pic. Earfla. Tandy. Yep, that was from Radio Shack. So wait a minute. I'm still looking for the lore. What was this? Troll her around the world. Might be something with the court filing system, because I see perfectly reputable firms using Yahoo. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Well, something about the filing system. I only have experience with a couple of different filing systems, and I've seen personal, and then I've also seen firm. It might be nothing, but I think it's just, I like to poke fun where I can, and I thought it was funny. God. Molly Colleen, my wife is a freelance writer, and she has a Gmail. Yeah. I mean, and also, not for nothing, justice for Proton, right? Acting like that's some big thing. Proton email is just another. I mean, remember when Gmail was like, oh, you had to get an invitation to join. What? I mean, right? So I just, again, so like Proton to me is the new Gmail, was the Hotmail, was the whatever. I didn't mean to cause such a ruckus in the chat. Justice for all emails. But, whew, man, a lot happens when I leave the interwebs. I moved it into my, so hang on a second. Gucci, was it you that said that Joe Rogan? Oh, wait, is that Joe? Oh, please tell me that's you, that he died. Oh, please tell me that's you. Oh my God. Uh, this is a good point. Just whistling Dixie. Lawyers and PR shouldn't be using unencrypted emails if they want to be. I mean, maybe. I do think that, you know, I have seen filings online. Most of them have been, you know, with the firm's name. The only ones, and Kelly Kell, you know, it's going to be our soon. When is your test, Kelly Kell? Because the interwebs have been busy. Ugh. Justice for email. Yes. Justice for all email. So oh my God, I don't know how to say AE Linley. Sorry. I have a Proton email, low key looking for a new provider though. I don't know. I hear Yahoo's still viable. I don't know. Justice for email. That's hilarious. Oh, coming in hot. So, is it LA? My God. In Cleardale? Does it say Iowa? No. IA had a Tandy leather cover. Put it together. What? Tandy had a leather cover. Hot crap, man. Did you get that at the Radio Shack at the mall? God, I know that's where we got ours. I thought that thing was amazing. Okay. Say it. Just say Lee. Okay. Christina, dying to know if you and I are ever going to have an interview, like a formal one where we get to chit and chat with this and that. Everybody say hi to Christina. Okay. So Gucci said, I was trolling Tricia. She had Lauren on. Oh, I love you already. Hang on. Lauren was doing her regular BS and I wore proud. Ooh, proud former gem. Oh, Tricia accidentally pinned it. That is going to get you. Yes, I'm here for that. And see, this is what she calls cyberbullying. Oh my God. Meme times 12. Not to change the subject, but are folks following the InfoWars YouTube app? Yes. Who has exploded? Yeah. Kelly Kell, when is your thing? Where did I see it? Ah! Oh, I'm so excited. You're going to do great, Kelly Kell. You're going to do great. So all good vibes for our favorite Kelly Kell, who has her bar exam next week. Hey, unindicted. Yes, you're right. Joe Rogan, RIP, in a helicopter crash. Yep. Oh, God. I'm going to say hi. We will soon. Yay. Because I know that Christina has talked for quite a good while with Jay. And I thought that was great. I have some very specific different questions that I want to chat through one day. Hey, Christina. Yes, the the helicopter, the chopper crash. Yeah. My God. Woo. That is something. Yes. Yes, I believe. Much like Whitney believed the children is our future, I believe the Kelly Kell is our future lawyer. Go, Kelly, go. Yeah. Even better was after Tricia admonished other creators for posting unverified claims. Like what? What? Ooh, that's good stuff. Holy crap. So Kelly, I hate to ask further, but how long do you have to wait for your results to come back? And is it the universal or just New York State? If I'm asking too much, tell me to shut it. I'm glad you're here, Christina. Out traveling with kids. Kids are like that. You missed the helicopter crash. Oh my God. Somebody troll. Oh my God. That is part of lore. And I don't know if they took that down in the great Tricia Grifterson McFarty Pants live stream strike of 2026 or not, or if it's back in the zeitgeist of the Farty McGrifterson Grifter Pants, is that Tricia was lulled into a weird sense of belief by a mere comment that Joe Rogan died in a helicopter crash. She said it out loud before even deciding to check, took it and ran with it. So when I hear Tricia say things like defamation and Stacey go, ribbit, yeah, ribbit, end quote, I'm like, okay, but Joe Rogan though, right? Oh, tornado warnings. Eastern New York, wait. Oh yeah, we're getting that tonight. Sorry, CH just said tornado warnings. You know, I don't hate the yes, RIP. RIP. I mean, Joe Rogan, the exploded. You know what? Somebody said it. The exploded. When Alex Jones finally popped, it's like a tick. He's like a tick. He's like a full on tick that's just loaded for bear. You're banned from Web Sleuths. Wow, what does it take to get that done about you? So your weather station is going nuts. BMD. Cats, dogs. Yep. You know what? It's not going to be great. And so I was saying this earlier when I started this Ding Dang Live almost 2 hours ago, and I'm going to probably end because I need to go and put some things together for later this week. I think Thursday I want to come back because I do have some calls and other things I want to follow up on. But what I was saying when I started the live is that my friend was out here and again, living my life, having friends, family, doing stuff out in the city. Aside from the horrible smoke from those wildfires, which are just heartbreaking, it's incredibly hot. We got some crazy flash flooding in the city. I mean, I come from Iowa where, you know, tornado season is just a thing. And, you know, it's nothing to get woke up in the middle of the night by your crazed parents dragging you down to the basement to make sure you don't get sucked up in a twister. But there's some serious weather going on. And so my friend had to bump her flight back and actually had to switch her flight to Philadelphia because of weather from last week, plus FIFA. The World Cup was, everybody was trying to get out. And then we've got something coming off the Atlantic, we've got something coming down from the lakes. And then we also have, you know, I hope Salty is fine. I hope all of our Florida friends, Jay, whoever is down there, are doing all right. I hope our New Orleans people, our Texas people who've been hit so hard are doing okay with, I don't know if it's still a tropical storm or if it's a hurricane now in the Gulf of Mexico. And I also know that there's something barreling up the West Coast. So it's kind of a shit show, man. So, you know, the flamingo thing. Oh my God. So flamingo thing is going to make a return and you're welcome. That's the Cranks. And the Cranks are in it to win it. Jolene, I gotta get back. God, I gotta catch up on so much. Jolene's hilarious. Another good Midwestern gal with a staunch character and a thick neck. Okay, showing us the toots. Okay. Yes. I'm just a small town. Look, living in a lonely world, and I did take a midnight train going anywhere. And I did actually end up marrying a city boy who thought potatoes came from seeds. Now, I can hear half of you laughing your asses off, and I can hear the rest of you saying, of course they come from seeds. They don't. But anyway, let's see. Why the flamingo? I don't know that lore. I came in after the lore, but flamingo, I don't know. Who knows? That's a good question. Oh, was Philadelphia airport a mess all weekend? Yeah. I hope so too. She should be at the airport fixing to board. Meme times 12. So you were at the Philadelphia airport. Yeah, it's just so bad. Syracuse to Atlantic City, New Jersey. Ugh. Yeah. Macomb needs a rain. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, so we have a live report. We have breaking weather report from BMD. I hope I'm right on I-80 in Sussex County. The weather is insane right now. Hold on, let me look out my window. Ooh. It's creepy still. You know that kind of still where it's like, ugh, stuff starts to turn green and it's like, yikes. So are they actually, so I'm just going to let me ask one more thing here. And I will show you the toot. She is in a closet, but that doesn't stop us. And if you've got your toots, you can drop them in the chat. Hey, lover of bad puns. You're late, but you didn't miss anything. You missed me getting caught up on what I've missed this week and people just having fun, hanging out. Pissing you off doing that 24-hour. I need to go back in and see. So Gucci said, so off base, pissing you off doing 24-hour to control all trolls. Well, lady, look. Yeah, I mean, Tricia's been told repeatedly by everybody to keep those children's name out of their mouth. And Crush's uncle, my God, sick, gross, the old nasty old piece of work. But oh, Amber Lawnard, hi. Got you some flamingo PJs at Ross. Oh my God, who doesn't love? I'm a Maxinista, but I'll do a Ross if I know where there is one. So you got banned for asking about her recording John Ramsey. She was mad. Well, Tricia, come in closer, sweetie Petey. Stop recording people without their permission, all right? Don't do it. First of all, make sure you're in a two-party state or a one-party state. She's gross. What? Last night on her live? Okay. Oh my God, Lauren's going to be a guest. Can't wait. All right. Let's see the cat, shall we? Let's clean little whisk broom. Oh my God, it got really dark, y'all. Holy shit. Oh, where'd she go? Okay. Let me hide this. Eek. She's actually kind of really embedded herself. Let me see. Hi, Boop. Okay, hang on. Doot. That's you. Hi. Say hi. Can you see her? Wait, let me see her little tiny face. Oh, shit. Hang on. What? There's my baby. Doot. Drop your toots. Oh, there's my little. Are you grumpy, Tot? Yes, you grumpy, Tot? Okay. All right. Everybody needs the toot. So I'm like standing on a chair, balancing in the dark. But yeah, it got really dark here. So yeah, probably. It's like I advised my husband. I'm like, say if it's between me and the cat, save the cat. Is she not just so cute? Oh God. She's already been outside today. But so I have put together a pet of the week. Let me see if I can share just a little bit of it with you, because I really want people to share their pets, because we all need some colon blow for the soul. As you can see, it's gotten really dark in my abode. Hang on a second. So it's like I'm Dorothy. Let me see if I can pull up a little bit just to give you a little bit. And then, you know what I'm going to do? Let me write this down. Sorry. It's a yard sale. So what I'm going to do, we will look at, and there's actually more than one Cuomo interview, which is deeply disturbing. But this will give me some more time to see if I can't get in touch with this, the production company that runs Cuomo. Because the thing, and again, here's the thing, John, none of this is stalking. Okay? None of it. When you put yourself into the public light and you represent something, you can't expect reporters not to report on bullshit. So I'm going to, gives me a chance to look into that. We'll watch some of that. And then coming up is I'm putting together I mentioned this again in my community notes, that I was trying to review the old Delphi stuff because Mr. Allen's appeals court hearing is coming up in September. Now, I don't have high hopes just because it's appellate court, and I think it's great that there's going to be a hearing, but I want to put together sort of a shorter, just edited video of some of the things that I've reported on, some of the people I've interviewed, you know, Andrew Baldwin, Andrea Burkhart, Bob, some of the people that were there, some of the stuff that the Cranks have put together, and others that I think is really valuable to explain from my perspective where I see how we got to where we are in the Delphi case, because I do think that that man did not get a fair trial at all. If not factually innocent, you know, that was a miscarriage of justice for the girls, for Delphi residents, and for certainly Mr. Allen and his family. So I'm doing that. I got the, I think Thursday, what we could do, if y'all are interested, is go ahead and think about, see you next Tuesday, but do the, see if I've gotten anywhere with my quest to find more information from Mr. Breakfast and get me a chance to catch up from my week of luxuriating in the hot sauna of New York City. And then track down some more Tricia stuff, because she's still on the docket for August 12th. So I'm looking forward to that. And then pet of the week. Actually, there's many pets of the week. So let me just give you a short little primer here on what I've got. And if you got them, drop them in the community tab. So let me, and this will be our colon blow for the soul, okay? Because we all need colon blow for the soul. Let me share my screen, and this will be my outro. Where are you, lover of bad puns and drought? Husband lives in Indiana right now for work. Oh, okay. Ah, Ontario. So what do you think? Like Thursday? Oh, God, I look wan. Virginia. Okay. Let me just show you a little bit of this. Kitty thing. Someday I'll get this. Someday I'll get another camera, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So this is me doing my silly work. Pets. Can you see it? Nailed it. So these are some of the upcoming ones. So that's all I wanted to give you a little sneak peek to encourage you to share. But yeah, everybody stay safe, cover your butts, get to some sort of tornado shelter if it comes to it. And as always, I hate you.